Okay, what's poppin', guys? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Of course, it is the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, giving you my thoughts, feelings, opinions, musings on it. But as always, more importantly, asking for yours. Opinions, that is. And of course, here on Football Therapy, we've cultivated such a wonderful, warming, sweet, tender, strong community here on the YouTube channel, Football Therapy. And if you want to be part of that, you are most welcome. You can also support the content by dropping a like on the video, eh? That's what we've been saying for years, us YouTubers on the channels here. Yeah. Everyone's welcome to subscribe, and if you choose to subscribe, you should hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Oh, God, nearly had it. Sweet, sweet bell, baby. Whatever. Anyway, Chelsea news. Today, I do want to speak a little bit about old Bernardo Quaver. Remember that geezer? The Maresca analysis video, which a lot of people have sent me now. Well, probably about 4 or 5 people on different social media platforms. Adam Clary, he did a great analysis on Maresca ball, why it's getting worse, apparently. Do want to speak a little bit about that personally. And also the Times and other publications speaking about Twickenham, Chelsea playing at Twickenham, that, you know, spectre rising again. And my boy, Wesley Fofana, could leave, which actually circles back rather importantly to why Chelsea are worse under Maresca. Spoiler. So we're going to get into all of it, and I've already asked you to subscribe and like, so yeah, let's go. First of all, Bernardo Quaver. Now, listen, yeah? This guy's a set-piece coach we stole, ripped out of the heart of Brentford. Now, I know nothing about set-piece coaches. I'm not going to pretend for one moment I do, or I am that interested. That's an Arsenal fan thing. They, of course, all get blood rushing to their groins when they think of Nicholas Jova. They've even done a mural of him, which I think is quite embarrassing. Anyway, we move. But Bernardo Quaver, he ain't getting a mural at Chelsea anytime soon, because I can't remember the last time we even did something at a corner. Now, speaking of, you know, online YouTube-based tactical analysts, like that geezer Adam Clary, JJ Bull of The Athletic of Tifo said this about Bernardo Quaver, that he was such a good get for Chelsea because he is, and this is his words, a YouTube content creator / analyst who I have a great deal of respect for, a bit of a genius. Chelsea have got themselves a genius in Bernie Quaver. I don't imagine he likes being called Bernie, but I'm calling him Bernardo Quaver. It's probably not even pronounced Quaver, but Bernardo Quaver. Anyway, we've been nothing short of absolute shite at set pieces. Certainly attacking and possibly even defending. I don't know how we've been defending set pieces. I should have prepared particular stats for this. But like you, I'm a Chelsea fan and I'm going on the eye test. And yeah, it's been nothing short of turgid sewage in terms of set pieces. Now, we're not a big team. We're certainly not a senior team. We're very young little boys, Chelsea at the moment. But it should be better, man. I know, like, Wesley Fofana, his absence, he'll come up again, of course, a couple of times in a moment. He, despite not being the tallest, was very good at attacking set pieces. And we've suffered in his absence in quite a few ways. Yeah, what's happening? When are we ever going to get good at corners again? Because we've got a set-piece coach. You know, say what you want about the Chelsea manager. This geezer is on set pieces, and we're terrible. What's happening? Right. So, Chelsea have been poor in the second half of the season, though, touch wood. We are finding a little bit of form now at the end of the season, with a couple of wins in a row against teams that I could have definitely seen us not winning. Even Rob Sanchez is looking like an important play. Jesus, even like Nico Jackson scoring again. So, you know, we're through the looking glass now, people. But yeah, so a bunch of people sent me this video that was uploaded a few days ago by is it Clary? Football channel, where he's an analyst. I think he worked elsewhere and he's peeled away onto his own YouTube platform. Good luck to him. The content looks excellent. So congratulations to him. Well edited, well presented, and clearly a good footballing mind. Now, he highlighted a lot of stuff that many Chelsea fans have evaluated themselves this season. And of course, that is Chelsea's had a very good half of the season, the beginning of half of the season, and we've been poor in the last few months. That's very sort of reductive, but it's the truth, yeah? So, a few things to consider here. In the first half of the season, we were playing quick transitions and scoring a lot of goals like that. And of course, we've stopped doing that, and we've got more possession and less goals. And of course, the criticism is we were playing more football akin to Pochettino, chaos ball, scoring more goals. And now, as we've become more Maresca-y, that the team's got worse and regressed. And while there could be elements of truth to that, I do want to contest it, because he said, look, we had this happen at Leicester as well, but to me, that's not really. It's a bunch of different players. I don't look at that and go, oh, this is a definitive pattern. And he talks about how Maresca wants to, so desired effect is have more possession, attack with a wide 5, and defend with a block 5. That's elite football, okay? And I'm not just talking about Pep Guardiola, of course, does it without, ending up in different iterations. Whether you start with a back 3 or invert a full back or whatever, you'll often end with a block 5 attacking 5. We did it with Conte when we won the league with a wing back system. Of course, we did it with Tuchel. We won the Champions League with it, with a 3-back system. And of course, it was slightly different with Tuchel without wingers. It was more inside forwards, like Amorim at Man United. But you end up with a 5-block and a 5-block attacking. And you want to control games. Pep Guardiola did it last season. Did he do it? I think he was doing it when he won the Champions League. He certainly did it last season when he won the Premier League through control, through possession. That's Chelsea's desired effect. And whether you think Maresca can do it or not, fine. But I think it's not churlish, but it's silly to undermine the desired effect, because that is what's proven to make the title-winning teams. The high-octane, transitional, risky ball, it's fun to watch at times, but you have to understand why owners, directors aren't looking to that for sustainability, reliability, and progress. I've referenced it before. Jurgen Klopp, with the one season he won the Premier League with Liverpool, he turned to control. That squad, which is a great squad, they've gone from transitional, Gengen pressing, heavy metal football. Arne Slot's come in, made Ryan Gravenberg and Regista put his foot on the ball, made them more boring, inverted commas, and they've moonwalked the Premier League. And there's been no heart attack, high blood pressure moments. The neutral, and I was listening to athletic people say this, would have maybe prefer to watch Jurgen Klopp's risky football and, Pochettino's risky football in 2016, gets you in the top 4. But ultimately, if you work in a football club and you're trying to find a system that brings, long-term consistent success, it is that. Now, Adam Cleary rightly highlighted some absentees as well in both Romeo Lavia and Wesley Fofana, how Chelsea were much better in this winning run where we had them both available. Simon Johnson of The Athletic's just done a piece on why he thinks if Lavia was available for even most of the games this season, we'd be comfortably in the top 4. That's because it's high aggression, high turnovers, and Wesley Fofana's the same. He's like the best centre-back for winning possession back in the attacking third, and he's a really, really aggressive centre-back. I love Wesley Fofana. We're going to get back on that in a moment. Could be leaving, right? And I get it. He's injured all the time. But I'm not criticising this geezer, Adam Cleary, who, by all accounts, knows lots more about football than I do. But, it's amazing content. And yes, he references FB Ref. I reference FB Ref all the time. And he's made the numbers add up. He hasn't said, I'm absolutely right. And he's actually opened up the content. What do you think? So all I'm doing is offering my thoughts. I'm not contesting his data. I'm trying to add a little bit more nuance and context to the desired effect of the team. I'm not defending Maresca. If he goes tomorrow, whatever, I'll welcome in the next guy. I'll support the next guy and hope we win. I just hope Chelsea win. But you have to look through the lens of understanding of what we're trying to do And he kind of does that towards the end, but also very, very importantly highlights the absence of, both Lavia and Fofana, and how essentially the absence of those two playing in the Chelsea team literally coincides with our poor form. So there's that as well. Yes, I'm not saying we're going to suddenly start. I've kind of remained the same. In the summer, even after a 5-game winning streak, to see us get into the top 6, I think we'll probably better Pochettino's season, last season, statistically, or points, excuse me. Certainly defensive numbers. We were record goals conceded last season. I hated Pochettino's football at Chelsea. I know it was exciting to watch Palmer score loads of goals, but I just hated conceding all those goals and never having control. I'm an old school Chelsea fan. I like to not be easily beaten. And I felt like we just turned into a brothel at the back. Transitional football is great and it's fun. And I think it is good for certain teams. I think it will be really good for Man United from getting them to 15th to the top 8th. But if you truly want to win Premier League titles, you need control. And that whole defend with 5, attack 5 has been the secret to success for the last 8+ years. All right, so that's something I wanted to react to because so many people were sending me that. A great video, great content creator, and I'll certainly be very interested in watching more from Adam Cleary. Right, okay. I'm not going to spend too much time on this before I speak about Fofana, but the Times Sport, The Guardian have been speaking about Twickenham. The Times Sport posts on X, the RFU keen on money spinning idea for hosting Chelsea at Twickenham for 7 years. Club would need a temporary home if they're to rebuild Stamford Bridge. Of course, the Chelsea owners, a rift in the ownership, largely down to the whole Stamford Bridge rebuild problem, which is mental. Of course, Todd Bowley himself said on whatever freaking financial conference he was speaking on at the time that ultimately that could be the thing that splits up him and Clear Lake. It is very delicate. You've got Sadiq Khan coming out lately. Not that we should give a so-and-so about what the London mayor thinks, but he says, look, Chelsea need a bigger stadium. They've won 2 Champions Leagues. What is this? In fact, let's have a look. Yeah, this is the quote from the London mayor. My message to Chelsea is to come and speak to us in relation to what you want to do. Chelsea are the victims of their own success, and Stamford Bridge is now too small for them. After all, this is a team that has twice won the Champions League. I mean, it kind of hits, doesn't it? Yeah, the mayor of London is saying, look, Chelsea, this is too small. Obviously, he wants London to be as big and as good as wherever, but he's looking at the Emirates, he's looking at the Tottenham Stadium, these big, massive stadiums. It's like, Chelsea, you're the guy who's won multiple Champions Leagues. This ain't good enough. Now, I'm not going to get into, like, the divide of what to do with Stamford Bridge now, but it's under Abramovich. He tried to buy out the CPO shares years ago, which the fans were very angry about him about. He wanted to move Chelsea to Battersea Power Station. He obviously got the Bird's Nest designers to design the new Chelsea Stadium, which I was covering on YouTube, so it must have been 2018 or 17ish. I was early on YouTube then. It's no matter who owns Chelsea, Abramovich, Clear Lake, Bowley, whoever, they're all going to try and get a new stadium, upgrade stadium. 7 years at Twickenham, though, it makes me feel sick. Twickenham, of course, has a massive capacity. They would need to revitalise it. That's the idea. Look, you can go seek out the information yourself, but 7 years makes me feel sick. I will be comfortably into my 40s, which I don't want to think about. I'm 36, so I'll be 43, and that's if they do it now. I don't like that, personally. Let's move on. Alright, so Wesley Fofana, guys. This came out yesterday. Santiago, Foot Mercato, Journaliste. Yeah, man, look, I mean, this is a translated article from a French publication. I'll read it, so forgive me if it comes through in broken English. But it goes a little something like this. Olympique Marseille insists on Wesley Fofana. With his season already over at Chelsea due to a hamstring injury, Wesley Fofana is already thinking about next year. The Blues have opened the door to a move, whether on loan or a permanent transfer. And this is a boon for Olympique Marseille, who are still considering the services of the Marseille native. Of course, he is a Marseille fan. After a blank 23-24 season, everything had started ideally for Wes Fofana this season with 12 starts in 13 Premier League matches for Chelsea. And of course, in those first 12 games or 13 games, Chelsea were flying. We need to be mindful. Wesley Fofana is very good and made Chelsea play a lot better. I'm not going to say he yeah, all right. I'm so scared of even loaning him to Marseille because he's a Chelsea fan, but really he's a Marseille fan, that he'll just want to stay there. They're going to finish second this season behind PSG. And we'll be losing out on what is an amazing game changer. Yes, injuries, and that is literally the deal breaker. But I just don't want people to forget that this guy, what's his face? Adam Clary was highlighting it, showing you the numbers. I've been a huge super fan for ages. You guys mock me in the comments saying this guy's never, why are you such a super fan? This guy never even plays. I think genuinely he could be, if he was fit, he could be like the best centre-back. Most influential footballing centre-back in the Premier League, if not the world. And he's a Chelsea-ish fan. I just love him. The international found his form and stabilised the defence at Chelsea, which of course has been lacking benchmarks in recent months. That might be broken English. As a result, at the end of the 13th match day, the Blues were second in the Premier League. Unfortunately, he got a new hamstring injury. It left him out for several months. At the end of the season was also considered an end of the season was also considered before the 29. He basically came back into the team. The good news was short-lived as he once again got the hamstring injury, which prompted both the club and the player to undergo surgery. And of course, Chelsea confirmed with a statement he went into surgery. Continuing the recovery from an injury, Fofana is already preparing for next season and is already chomping at the bit. For their part, and due to the player's repeated injuries, Chelsea are seriously considering parting ways with him. And I get it. Because let's have it right. He's one of those players that we bought before the new loose regulations of, obviously he's young. We bought him very young, so the under 23 rule or whatever. But and we put him on a long contract. But we also put him on high wages, higher wages than he's in, the sort of Reece James and Kunku, maybe not as much as Raheem Sterling, but he's one of the last few. We're going to give this guy a high base wage. And when they're not playing on a high base wage, it's problematic. He's definitely worth the wage as a footballer and more in the future. But yeah, so Chelsea will be looking at this. And guys, for reference, just a reminder, we got Wesley Fofana for £69 million. I was very happy with that fee. They wanted a world record fee for a defender over the Harry Maguire, over the £80 million or 85 million, but whatever it was. They wanted 85 million. We got him for 69. I was like, freaking touch. He's the one for the next decade plus. And the hype was real, certainly for me. So Marseille don't want to let him go. Of course, they're doing very, very well in Ligue 1. And as his club, it must be very tempting for him at the moment. They were a little bit of a circus for a multitude of reasons for a while, but they seem to have settled come the end of the season. And yeah, man, I get it. If it's untenable, yeah, then do your thing. If I'm Marseille won't have the money to buy him, I don't think, because we'll want at least. I mean, he's awesome. We'd want loads of money for him, surely. We'd definitely not get our money back in 69, but we might want 60 million quid for him because we might be like, this could be the best defender in the world, and we're making a loss on him. Maybe there'd definitely be a sell-on clause, because if he goes to, for example, Marseille, plays really well for 2 years. How old is Wesley Fofana? He's got to be, 24? He's 24 and nailed it. So, say he goes to Marseille, plays really well for 2 years, 26 years old. Real Madrid say, yes, thank you very much. We'll pay 80, 90 million pounds for him. Chelsea could have a big sell-on fee. But then, he goes to Real Madrid and he's awesome and my heart breaks. Obviously, it's injuries. Guys, that's the thing screaming in the face. But if this guy can revitalise his career and be the footballer he's supposed to be, for me, it has to be at Chelsea, because I'll be so gutted if he goes elsewhere. But at the same time, if Chelsea think this guy's never really going to get back to the level because of the injuries, then yeah, cut the losses. Let me know your thoughts. leave your comments down in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the content I've made for you here today, let me know. Drop a like on the video. Of course, everyone's welcome, so do consider subscribing if you want to. And yeah, man, football therapy merch, Goat Gang merch available as well. Go check that out should you want it. All right, enjoy the football. Peace.